This video, I'm going to be sharing with you 3 vibrational manifestation hacks for creating what you want easier than ever that nobody tells you. These are hacks that I use in my own life, things I've noticed other successful people do, stuff that's a little bit different, but nonetheless I think so powerful. Welcome back to another video. My name's Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you those 3 vibrational manifestation hacks that you can use to resonate with the reality that you want. These are going to be things that I use in my own life, plus things I've noticed in other people that other people do to really resonate with the reality they want. Now, with this, understand that when we think of the law of attraction, many times people are just looking at what they are thinking about. However, what we are thinking about is one aspect of the part, because sometimes our thoughts do not translate into emotion. So I can think about certain things all I want, but if I'm not passionate about it, if it's not something that I feel, then it may not be something that is relevant for me. Now, what I want to show you how to do in this video is how to actually use vibrational resonance to create and align with the reality that you want. Now think of your vibration in the form of passion. What are you passionate about? Because anytime you find something that you're passionate about, that makes it much easier for you to resonate with the reality that you want, because underneath passion is the feeling. Think of it in the form of everything. What quantum physics shows us is that everything in life is vibration. It is vibrating at different frequencies. So when we look at the best version of us that we can imagine, the reality that we want to experience, what kind of emotions does that version of us feel? We want to look at what that person is doing, what they are thinking, and how they are feeling. So think of those 3 things that tailor our vibration: how we think, how we act, how we feel. Those 3 things. Sometimes many people just exist in the feeling aspect of it. Or not in the feeling, in the thinking aspect of it. They're thinking about what they want. They're thinking of the Lamborghini. They're thinking of the different, the relationship. However, we must also incorporate into that the emotion, which means we should align to other things where we already feel the emotion that thing would bring us. So for example, if it was the emotion of, maybe being in a relationship, instead of just focusing on the other person that we want to attract in our life, instead of that, focus on where we already feel the compassion in our life. Maybe we have that with our family, so we can focus on, even though it's not romantic, we could focus on that compassion we feel, and by bringing in more of that emotion, we're more likely to resonate with that reality. We can focus on the actions we would take. We could see that, hey, maybe the people that I'd be attracted to, maybe they're in some type of yoga class, or maybe they're at this type of event. Go to that event. Action is an important part of it as well, because when we do it, we open up opportunities for us to then experience that. So it's a combination of what we think, how we act, and what we feel. So the first part of this, and the first hack I'm going to be sharing with you, has to do with vibrating at the same resonance of someone else that you aspire to be like. Now, in general, it is good to be yourself, so it's not like you always want to run around and you want to try to be like everybody else. However, there is a hack for this system. Anytime you are paying attention to someone else and you are immersing in their thought processes, you are beginning to vibrationally resonate with them. So, for example, when I listen to Tony Robbins on Netflix, on YouTube, and listen to his speeches, one of the reasons I do that is because I know that because I desire to live a similar lifestyle of Tony Robbins, because I desire to have a similar type purpose as far as traveling and speaking, I pay attention to how he speaks, how he relates to people, his tonality of voice inflection. I notice all of these things and listen to it because I know the more I immerse myself in his talks, in his seminars, the more I will vibrationally resonate with him. It's almost like, they call this mirror neurons in science. When people are thinking a certain way, their brain, the way their brain works starts to wire in a certain way, and when you listen to it, you start to resonate with it. So literally what we are paying attention to and what we are digesting as far as information, we are starting to resonate with. And the people we listen to the most, we have mirror neurons that we are linking up with. So think of it like this too. The 5 people you're around the most, your brain is in a same way, the mirror neurons are wiring in a similar way to the people you're around the most. Now, what this means is we can begin to take this conscious awareness and do it in ways that we prefer. So what I do is I listen to people I desire to be more like, knowing that as I do that, I am vibrationally resonating with those realities that are similar for me. Now, of course, I do this in my own way, so I never want to be a carbon copy of Tony Robbins doing my own speaking events. But what I do recognize is that there's a certain type of vibration he's putting out, and I can make my own version of that as far as the influence, as far as the abilities he has. Now, how can you use this in your own life? What are you putting in your environment as far as vibration, as far as what information you are digesting? So, for example, if you wanted to be an art gallery owner, you could either put yourself in the energy field of other people that are art gallery owners, because then you're going to start to have those mirror neurons that are similar. You could maybe mentor for one of them. You could maybe be an assistant to one of them. Maybe what you could do is read the autobiography of somebody that's an amazing artist that you know also has a gallery that they're involved with. You can link up your thoughts to those that are already doing that which you want to do, and by doing that, you're going to begin to resonate and get inside their own minds in a way. One of the reasons I like to listen to audiobooks that are by the author, meaning when I go to Audible or I listen to audiobooks, I like audiobooks that the author actually speaks themselves versus like some type of narrator that's not the author. And one of the reasons I do that is because I understand that the teaching they have, they're passionate about, the energy that they are saying whatever they're talking about with is something that's contagious. And many times, those mirror neurons will actually translate through the audio experience. So, the reason I say all this is because I want you to understand that it's so powerful for you to put in your environment people that you want to be similar to, maybe lifestyles they have, whatever it is. And as you do that, you will start to resonate with the reality that they have paved. You know, Tony Robbins always says, success leaves clues. And if you find somebody you can begin to model their behavior, you can learn to do anything. Now, the key to that is what I encourage is to do parts of that, but to do it in your own way. To be in your own, the way that you want to go about it, but maybe using a similar type model in a way. Or maybe some type of similar type things you can learn from that person. Because what that person does in their books and their seminars, whatever, is they compress everything they've learned over 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. And you get to digest that in an hour, 2 hour long speech or in a book. So that's vibrational resonance at its finest. And that's what you can learn to do, is learn to put in your environment audiobooks of people you want to be similar to. Listening to seminars of people you want to be like. Getting into the energy of the field of people that you want to be similar to. And by doing that, you're going to begin to link up those mirror neurons, and you're going to be thinking, feeling, and acting in a similar way as long as you make that choice. Most people just have everything in their environments on autopilot. They're just not aware of what that is. But the moment you start to consciously decide, hey, I'm going to put this in my environment, that's when things begin to change in a powerful way. So this is something that I use in my own life. This is a hack that I have. I have a TV right over there. What I do is sometimes I'll put on people that I admire, like someone like Tony Robbins, and I imagine the state of mind he's in. I imagine what's going through his thought processes, how he thinks, his values, just to know that that's the result he got. Then I formulate that into my own. So I don't copy or I don't try to exactly mimic. I try to be myself, because many times, sometimes we limit ourselves too. You may be looking at someone that you want to be like, and you may just model everything they do, but what if your potential is actually outside of theirs? I don't say this in a cocky way. I'm just saying, align it in your own way. Be open to the interpretation. Be open to the uniqueness that you are. Because as you do that, you'll really be the special person you're meant to be. Now, the second hack that I have for you has to do with something that I've learned that I wrote down. I've had it written down on a piece of paper for about the last 2-3 years now. It has to do with how beliefs create our reality, but it has to do with this one aspect of it that's a total game changer. This aspect is trusting and knowing and treating whatever your goal is, whatever your intention is, treating it as if it is law, as if it is meant to be, as if it is already done. So for example, I may set this intention that in a couple months I do my first speaking event. I set that intention, first big speaking event. I set the intention, and what I do is I act as if it is already done. It is law, it is going to happen. It is destiny. I treat it like that with certainty, because the certainty is where it begins to form in reality. There are certain things that me and you are certain about. Those things that we're certain about come through normally a lot easier. I may be certain that I can do certain things with my YouTube channel because I've done them a certain amount of time. So with that, there's a certain level of certainty with results that come from it. There may be certainty you have with speaking and doing whatever your craft is, whatever you're passionate about. Whatever you're already certain about, treat whatever your goal or intention is with that same certainty. So let me ask you a question. What are you passionate about? What are you certain that you're good at? And just be honest with yourself. There's something that you are good at. And you could look at that and be like, well, I'm really good at getting this type of information and explaining it to someone else. I'm very good at this part of my job, and everyone always looks to me because this is what I'm really good at. Look at whatever that is and understand that that certainty you feel with that one thing, you can also feel that as if it's law with anything else. Think of something really small that you don't even think about, like, for example, brushing your teeth. You have certainty that you can brush your teeth and it's on autopilot, something that's very easy for you to do. Now, because you have certainty, because it's on autopilot, it's just natural for your self-image. It's natural for a part of who you are. Now, here's another hack when it comes to the vibration. This is all in the same second hack. Is see it from the point of view as being natural for your self-image. So normally what will happen is if we set goals that are outside of where we currently are, many times we'll put that goal on a pedestal and we'll see it up there and we'll create resistance around it. So for example, if I were for a year ago to imagine being the kind of person that can create a certain amount of videos that gets a certain amount of exposure, if I were to look at maybe getting a certain amount of subscribers per month, for example, on my YouTube channel, and I were to look at that, and I would be like, whoa, that'd be so cool to get that many per month, I'd be putting it on a pedestal and I may create resistance around it. However, because I am now that version of me that just creates certain type of content that gets a certain amount of exposure, it is natural for me to see myself in that way, and there's nothing on a pedestal, it's just a natural byproduct of who I am. So do you see how there's two different energy streams there? One is, wouldn't it be cool if, which puts it on a pedestal, which kind of is distant. The other one is, it's already a part of my self-image. If you were to goal yourself at making $100,000 a year, and currently you make 50, you'll look at 100,000 and be like, whoa, that would be cool. But it's outside of the vibrational resonance. But instead, if you see yourself as already the kind of person that is able to make that 100K a year, then it's already in alignment. It's not something on a pedestal. It's just natural for who you are. Which is why sometimes seeing it and creating and connecting to how natural it would feel, still passionate, doesn't mean you're void of emotion, but how natural it is, you start to also link up your self-image to it. So think about it in the form of vibrational resonance with certainty. Act as if it is already done, it is already a part of who you are. Trust the process and see it as natural for you to experience that which you want. Because as you do that, you will align easier than ever with that reality. The third hack is something that I've been using in my life for a while now, and it has to do with breaking down your manifestation, what you want to create in your life, break it down into the emotion you would feel. So for example, if you want a relationship, focus on the compassion that you would have in that relationship. This is kind of what I mentioned in the first one. What you want to do is you want to milk the feeling of anything you want to experience in your life, milk the feeling of where that already is. Now let me give you some examples just to make this a little bit more tangible. It could be you want to create more money in your life. Well, what does money mean to you? Money is a neutral idea, but we give it meaning. So the money, how do you view money? You may view money and say it means freedom. It means security. It means the ability to do what I want when I want to. Well, you can look at other aspects of your life where you could already do what you want when you want to. You'd be like, well, I'm walking around my house, it's my day off. I can do what I want when I want to do it. I'm going to focus on that. Remember, whatever you focus on, you literally feel. So focus on where you can already feel the emotions of what you want to experience, and you bring it through right now. You see, the thing is normally we have it backwards. We say to ourselves, when I feel X, Y, and Z, then I can be happy. But because we are then putting our happiness in the future, it's like we are prolonging our happiness and prolonging the vibrational resonance. When instead, if we were to feel the emotion already of us having what we want, we would then create what we want easier than ever. This is about vibrational resonance. So find out what you want to experience, but not just the what, find out why you want it. Do you want it because it'll make you feel compassion? It'll make you feel freedom? It'll make you feel more connected? It'll make you feel passionate about what you do? Whatever it is, be aware of that and then milk the feeling. Focus on things in your life that are already there, and because they're already there, you can focus on them and you can milk that, and as you milk it, you will be resonating with that vibration, resonating with that reality in a way like never before. This is a hack that you can begin to use, because then what you do is you feel the emotion beforehand, and by doing that, you make things happen easier than ever. This also gets us into the pattern of already feeling the gratitude. Gratitude is one of the best ways for us to align with what we want, because if we feel like we already have it, we are putting out the vibration that says, this is who I am. This is what I already have. And you want to think of terms of resonance. If you say you have gratitude, you are resonating with the reality of already having it anyways. So for this process, it's about vibrational resonance. And what you can begin to do is use these 3 hacks that I'm sharing with you, because they are so powerful. It has to do with understanding, first off, that you can find someone that you want to be similar to and immerse yourself in their thought processes. Immerse yourself in their mirror neurons, how they think. And as you listen to their audiobooks, as you listen to their seminars, as you listen to them in general, or you get yourself in the energy field of them, you will be resonating more so with them. Secondly, know that as you go through the process, you can have the certainty, treat it as if it is already done. Because as you do that, you align more with the vibrational resonance of it, that you can then start to trust the process and see yourself already in that way. See it as natural for your current self-image. And then the third hack is that of aligning with the emotional vibration by feeling the emotions prior and milking the feeling of it. Focus on what's already in your life. Focus equals feeling, and the more you do that, the more you resonate with the vibrational resonance of that reality. Now, if you want help with this process, I have a free guided meditation that will show you exactly how to raise your vibrational set point. And when you listen to this, this will help you to align with the reality you want to experience, because as you raise your vibration, things happen easier than ever. This is absolutely free. You can download it in the top of the description box below. Also, I'm going to be doing more live Q&As. I just did one yesterday on Instagram. And if you want to ask me questions, if you want to be involved with them, you can go and follow me on Instagram below. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to like this video if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the little notification gear so that you can see the daily vids that I do. The way YouTube does things now is you actually have to hit that button in order to see the daily vids. And other than that, as always, peace, much love, and namaste.